Hello, this is part 4 of This Isn't It News. My name is Mary Renee and welcome back. I would like to let you all know it's been a while and I've missed doing this. I'm in a different spot this time. I won't be having people interrupt me. I hope everyone's doing well. And I also wanted to let you know I am going to be uploading this to BitChute and Rumble. I have a Rumble and BitChute account now. Not sure how long this will be able to remain up here. I don't think they're gonna like what I have to say, but that's okay, because someone's been through what I'm about to share with you. So I started a Facebook group, ONEGRAM, a private group, to be able to talk privately about what I've been through, because it's not for sale. My story is not for sale. It's free. And so I'm going to read you the 3 entries that I put in on the page, and then I will share after that. So, entry 1, I wrote this on 12/4/2020. A little over 2 years ago, a repressed memory came back to me as far back as age 4. I can remember being sick all the time. Frequent doctor's visits, sore throats, and earaches every month. 2 hospital stays at age 6. One of those stays is the one I regressed for all those years. This was when I realized that what they do in Hollywood is child's play compared to what they do in the medical field. That's right. I was not talking about SRA, but MRA, medical ritual abuse. It took that memory to finally see how on earth they were able to put evil spirits inside of me and understand the injury I suffered beforehand. I was born in 71, mind you. In 1st grade, I started excelling in school. I was learning to read and write and had a newfound confidence in myself, and that a kindergarten tried to steal. Mr. Peltz was his name, probably misspelled. And he was no kindergarten teacher. Every day he found a way to shame me in front of the class. He would scold me in the hallway if he seen me take a drink from the fountain. He would scold me in class for my work. Sometimes, as a punishment, I would be put in the closet alone in the dark. Yes, there were closets in the classroom back then. It was not my dyslexia, as I once thought to have caused his disdain toward me. Nope, it was something far more sinister. My first shadow handler. Some of you may know what that is. I'm not going to go into detail about that today. Before I learned that there were evil spirits inside of me, I never understood much of my childhood up to age 8. Throughout life, when I would think back on those early years, it was my 2nd grade year that was a blur. I could not focus on any of my work and struggled a lot compared to 1st grade. Well, it was the summer between 1st and 2nd grade when I had my 2nd hospital visit, the regressed visit. And now know what it was they did to me. And of course, they needed my parents' consent. Just like in SRA, you need to give them permission if done to your own child. Please do not get the wrong idea. My mother would have never knowingly given them permission signed the paperwork had she known what they were going to do to me. To them, she was only my adopted mother because my blood relatives, my evidence shows, were behind so many of my shadows, as they may know who did the medical abominations to me throughout my life. Thank you, Yahusha, for setting me free. Before the procedure began, I remember being rolled into this very large room with very high ceilings, brightly lit and shiny, with a lot of surgical and medical equipment along some of the walls. There was no bed in the room, but a very hard stainless steel table placed in the center. They soon proceeded by spreading my legs high and far apart like a V-shaped strapping each ankle. Immediately after prepping me in place, the lights turned up, leaving one single focused bright light shining just inches away and pointing directly toward my private. I could barely make out the nurses and one doctor, who came in after the lights turned off and stayed the entire time a few feet away from me, instructing the nurses what to do to me while watching and taking notes. This had to have gone on for at least an hour. But then it seemed like a lifetime. The biggest memory outside of the pain was the look of horror on my mother's face as they strapped my ankles in her while I lay on the table on my back. It was freezing and no one except Mom cared as I cried out in pain. From the time it started to the time it was finished, I never stopped crying and screaming, "Mom, please, make him stop, make him stop." She did not know what to do as they stuck tubes and needles in me while naked and spread eagle, and there were tiny points of light like stars shining from the ceiling. Sound familiar? Sorry. I forgive. It doesn't matter if you believe me. I'll carry on. I was put into my room in bed afterwards and was alone with the nurse. I assumed my mother was talking to someone, asking questions. Though I was spared that memory, so most recently, she most likely was not, and I bear witness here and now of her innocence. While in the room, the nurse wanted to draw blood. I refused. I was just traumatized, and now you want to let you stick another needle in me. Well, she was very kind and persistent, and after about at least half an hour, I allowed her. It was the only thing that night they did to me that didn't hurt. And probably why I remember her as kind. But somebody wanted my blood and traumatized. Okay. Next, I want to say something I've been saying on my Facebook, and I need to say here to all my 16 subscribers: do not get this. Do not get it. It is the mark of the beast, and as much to me, I wish it wasn't. There's so much evidence, and I've been warning people. I'm asking you, if you haven't gotten it yet, please do not. Please trust your maker. You have an immune system. Everything they've done to me, I'm still here. So you can't tell me the Holy Spirit would guide me and all many of the body. We know we're grieving. And now you're touching the children. Not saying you who's watching, but you know who. And Father, have mercy. I forgive you what you did to me. I do. You don't have any right to touch any of these children. They won't survive. What you did to me was in the 80s and 70s. You're so far advanced now. It's so sickening. I was fortunate enough not to be cursed. Jesus broke those curses from me. Because I believe in him. Because he loves me. And he never let me go. I love you, brothers and sisters. I know you're feeling it. It's the Holy Spirit.